Hi, good afternoon. My name is Süßmilch and thank you for joining me on my journey writing my book. I write a book, but a story based in Berlin, and I'm also an artist, an actor, fashion designer now, and you can find everything on the link down below. Oh, that's nice. I'm at the seaside. I'm super excited, you know what I mean? So, I have to hurry up, But I wanted to show up on YouTube, stop hiding, And I tell you what, never ever give up. Always come back, Get up, If you fall, get up again, learn your lesson, and go for it, right? Anyway, it's chapter, do you hear me right? I'm giving my accent. It's chapter 66, Silvester, New Year's Eve. We say Silvester in Germany. It is New Year's Eve. What an eventful year 2004 was. Indeed, it was. I checked with Sandra, my friend. We decided to spend New Year's Eve at the Sage Club in Heinrich Heine Street. Should I say at Heinrich Heine Street? Because, it's feedback is welcome. Now, I'm still learning English. Anyway, the Sage Club is currently merged with the Kit Kat Club. If anyone knows, Berlin Kit Kat Club, all the naughty things, stings, and, nipples, all these kind of things happens there. I used to go there a few times. I can tell you exactly right. I was there 4 times. And I saw things you don't see anywhere else. I mean, that's 18 plus, yeah. Some pictures, in life, some pictures in life from certain situations can stick with you forever. So there are some memories I have with the Kit Kat Club. Right. So the Kit Kat Club merged with the Sage Club. And the motto of the evening is the same, erotica. I decide on a corsage from H&M in black with a little delicate rose-colored ribbon and a black mini-skirt, fishnet stockings, and my sexy 60 boots from Sicily. Sandra is also wearing something nice. So Sandra, who didn't watch the other videos, was my bandmate and dear friend, a transsexual. Well, she wanted to be completely transformed. It did unfortunately not happen. I'll come to that later, and then you hear out why. And she was a marvelous musician. I think she used to play 5 instruments, something like that. Great artist, great soul, very gentle, genuine. And regarding this, nowadays I miss that. Genuine and gentle souls, where are you? I'm still looking for my tribe though, to be frank. Anyway, I don't want to moan, So Sandra is also wearing something nice. I did her hair before we left. Sandra and I are in a good mood and full of hope and confidence, also because of the upcoming record deal. And I have to say, we look very funny and cute because Sandra used to be 1 meter 95, very tall, very thin, and I'm just 5'5", 5'6", in English measures, 162. Yeah, average, but I'm not average, but So the party's quite good. Sage Club has never really been my cup of tea as far as the location is concerned. Yeah, there are some locations, I don't know. I mean, everything looked great there, even the swimming pool, everything, but it was never my thing there. Same Tresor. I can count on one hand how often I have been to Tresor in all these years. I don't know why. It's a good place, ideally located, and everything looks nice, but the client here has never been my cup of tea either. Can I say that like that? Sandra and I drink champagne because we have this special ticket. It's available in almost every club on New Year's Eve. So you can drink until the doctor's coming. That's a phrase we say in German, and I assume and believe there will be a similar one in English because it's same but different. Like, very classy. Picking the cherries in English, and in German we say picking the raisins. You see? So the party is okay, but I've seen better parties. Before you go, you always have these special expectations of what a club night should be like, also in terms of music. I mean, we are very spoiled in Berlin. I can tell when I used to go to Vienna. I mean, Vienna is a very good place for partying and stuff, and they have a great music taste. There's a lot of good music coming from Vienna, by the way. Also electronic music. Yeah. So it's all very a delicate matter. So we meet our friend Herbert Herzlein, this author, and chat a bit, and of course the city party photographer's there too. He really goes out every night at all the parties and events and looks quite inconspicuous himself. Inconspicuous. But you always have to be on good terms with the photographers. Same on the film side, with the technicians, the lighting, the makeup artists. You have to acknowledge all that, what they do, Sandra suddenly says goodbye. I decided to stay a little longer because I'd never get fed up, and I still hope that the night will turn into a super event. But it doesn't happen. Well, there are these nights. After a while, I also make my way home. The 1st of January 2005. I'm very hungover, as usual. It's grey and typical. It's grey and typical for the first day of the year in Berlin. Definitely not my favourite day. It's better to just party for days on. Can I say that? It's better to just party for days on end to get over the grey. I mean, I used to do that. Not anymore. I'm very decent nowadays. Sandra and I talk on the phone every day. She's a bit worried right now and has money worries. Plus, that psychiatrist, Dr. Pashala, has forbidden her the conversion surgery, and Sandra is really super disappointed about that. She wants to work in a trendy establishment in Studio White in Schöneberg and asks if I can do her hair. Unfortunately, I don't have much time these days because I'm looking for a flat, and I also have to get a lot of stuff to decorate the place. I don't ask exactly what kind of establishment it is. More than that, it's some kind of transsexual brothel, I assume. I don't know. And Sandra needs some money. And yes, she sounds like she's totally okay with it. We talk on the phone for the next few days, and we want to meet for sure on the next following days. She didn't tell me how it is going on in the studio. I don't ask, because I assume that as soon as we see each other, she would tell me more. And it's a real, a lot of parts in that book are real. And it really like, it's like, there's also these bits, these chapters until chapter 68 or 69 was really difficult to write for me. Because, yeah, so I got a phone call from Sandra's flatmate, a bandmate of Peaches, if you know that band Peaches, and that singer. Sandra's collapsed in Studio White. Sandra is in hospital at the Virtual Clinicum in Reading. I immediately get on my way. Everything feels dull. I sit in the tram. The journey feels like an eternity, and it was also very cold, grey. It was beginning of January, around the 5th of January, something like that. Yeah. Let's have a short break, and I'll put in at that moment some of my new designs. I was a bit frustrated yesterday, you know, and but nevertheless, you know, I check my to-do list. I love to-do lists because then I get my things done, especially when you have a lot of them, you know, things. And then I continue to more designs and put them into my shop. So if you click my shop and my website, you know, there's also a shop, you will see them. And yeah, it felt great doing that. So please have a look. Thanks. So, as I mentioned earlier in the shorty, there's a book. I found that book here, in that Airbnb flat. It's about Iggy Pop. I have once seen a documentary. I love to see documentaries about all these musicians. Look, this looks great. Can you see that? Ah. Oh, with David Bowie. Unfortunately, never met David Bowie. And his real name is Jim Osterberg. And this picture was taken at the 23rd of April 1976 in Moscow. Nice. Yeah. Recently, you know, I checked in on. I love to watch sometimes TikTok, yeah. But I don't know what it is. It's probably these filters and these algorithms, and a lot of Meghan Markle and stuff like that. I mean, you don't really know what to believe there, right? Oh, look at this. See that? So the Guardian said, indecent exposure, underage sex, self-mutilation, psychiatric disorder, drug abuse, infidelity, betrayal, violence, death, and David Bowie. ... When you strip away all the nonsense, Iggy is a pro. Trinker too. Yes. And the Daily Telegraph said, the first authoritative biography of rock's extremo supremo. Trinker drags you magnificently along on the Iggy roller coaster. English. Oh my god. Ah, c'est l'horreur. Je suis aussi française. Ah, oui. Don't ask me to do anything in French now. I was so extremely focused on English the last few years. I mean, I'm in the UK now, exactly 6 years. Anyway, I will read you a little bit of chapter 67. The title is Coma. If you might understand, I needed a little break because, as I said before, I got that call. So arriving at the Virchow clinic, I trudged across the grounds. It's a gloomy January day and so cold here. I have a really strange feeling and I don't know where to put it. I look around. The hospital grounds are huge. Finally, I find what I'm looking for and get to the heart ward. So far I only know bits and pieces, including the fact that Sandra had to have an operation and had to sign whether she wanted to live because they had to take out her aorta or cut it somehow. And she had like a real big cut here. Then, in a special corridor, you're stopped and asked to cover up completely to prevent potential viral danger. Then a special lift that can only be operated by the staff and goes into the intensive care unit. And suddenly, I'm standing at the edge of Sandra's bed. Do you get the energy? Like the picture? Because I can clearly see when I was standing in front of her, and I can see that picture still. She's connected to all the machines, and now I also hear that she has been put into an artificial coma. I have a very strange feeling and look at her closely. She's still physically at full strength. I stroke her face and hair. Her hair's tied back in a ponytail. I ask around, but I don't get any precise information, just that a woman who has called the ambulance. On the way back, I drive past Sandra's flat in Prenzlauer Berg and ask her flatmate to let me in. I rummage through Sandra's things and find 5 different heavy psychiatric drugs, among them Suprexa. And all of them are harmful to patients with congenital or acute heart disease with fatal consequences. Her roommate doesn't know anything for sure either. I write down the telephone numbers of her family in Sandra's notebook and go home. I feel sick and stunned. First Chrysler, now Sandra. How am I supposed to cope? They both called me every day, and now it's so quiet, just like before, and so empty, and so sad, and I miss them so much. I have a dull feeling that Sandra won't be out of the woods anytime soon, especially when the assistant doctor told me that she needs a shoulder bag because of the organ supply, which would never be in Sandra's interest. Shit, man. I run down to the underground at Rosenthaler Platz. And yeah, so I leave it there. Yeah, that was Sandra. Long story short, a few days later I went back there and she looked already a bit different. And the following day or 3 days later I went back there and I had a feeling that was it. So I contacted the family, met the family and stuff, and there were other friends, also that pop artist, like popular musician Namosh. He went there very often with the clan from the Barbie Deinhoff Club. And I don't know, it was really hard to cope for me. I felt even guilty because I had so much to do and I had to move and decorate everything by myself. And the sadness, because one of my dearest friends just died and then Sandra was not available either anymore. And yeah, and every time I saw her, you could see like The Sandra I used to know, wasn't there anymore. She was shrunken, and then even 4 weeks later there was no hair. Yeah, and 4 months later she passed. That was my friend Sandra Süßmilch. Yeah, so I know there are very funny parts in my book, which is great, because I'm so grateful for everything I went through my life, and it was definitely not everything on roses. I had a lot of lessons. That's why I know I'm a chosen one. Um, I never lost my humor. I never lost, faith. I never. I mean, there were certain moments, especially the last 4 years. They were like one of my biggest lessons in life. But luckily, I had a very great mindset coach, and even some would say it was a miracle. But you can do anything if you have the right mindset. You're unstoppable. So, as Marchie, who's spilling the tea on YouTube, says, "No weapon formed against me that should prosper." Or, "If God hired me, who's going to fire me?" One of my favorites. And I'm full of love, and I wish you lots of love. So don't give up. Check out my merch and my shop, and message me. Or if you have a special wish and want a design, let me know. Everything is possible and negotiable. So, and thanks for joining, and don't forget to click and like the video to help me to grow my channel and to work around the algorithm. Aloha.